it anyways. Here
This
comes the
doesn't happen.
wife.
It's only on holidays. Well,
Yeah.
happy holiday then.
There's Anna.
Thank
Hello
you.
to everybody. Greetings. Hopefully we're bringing everybody together on this fine Saturday. Greetings from Long Beach, like I said before. And we will be taking questions and also talking about music, tour dates, 70,000 tons of metal, which we just got back from. It was a nice cruise to the Caribbean. With a bunch of our friends and a lot of great bands and a lot of amazing people that were there to enjoy music. Lots of stuff going on here. I got some toy stuff to talk about, some rare records. And just if you're checking in from whatever country you're checking in from, please let us know where you're checking in from so we can say hello to you. Whether it's Brazil, Argentina, Peru, Chile, Paraguay, Uruguay. Who am I forgetting? I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody. Colombia, Ecuador, the US of A, Canada, Europe, all of Europe, Scandinavia, the UK. I think I said that once already. Japan, Southeast Asia, and wherever else I'm missing. I hope I'm missing somebody, but I'm sure I am because my brain's only so big.
Italy.
Italy. Yeah. Hello to everybody in Italy. I'm sure there's some people listening in from Poland and the Czech Republic.
Sao Paulo, Philly,
Sao Paulo, Philly, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. No Sleep Till Breda. Okay, that's coming up on your tour. Nice.
Yeah.
And Chile's here. Colombia, Pereira, El Rostro de la Muerte. Fabio is watching. And let's see, I'm scrolling so much. Still stoked about 70K.
70K.
Seattle's here, Poland.
Seattle, nice. What's up? What's up, Poland?
Hello, everybody. Nice. Okay.
Thanks for checking in.
Coming. Yeah.
Keep it coming. We got an hour to do this as usual. I just want to say thank you to everybody for all the support. Also, to everybody that has been asking about HIRAX merchandise, please check out HIRAX Bandcamp and also HIRAX Big Cartel. You can find all the merchandise there, and we appreciate the support. There's a bunch of new stuff coming as well, so always check those sites. There'll be updates weekly. A lot of great magazines. I want to say thank you to Power Play Magazine for sending us an issue. This is a heavy metal magazine. I highly suggest you guys check it out. Once again, thank you to Power Play Magazine. Also, Rock Hard Magazine. I don't have a copy sitting in front of me, but HIRAX is in the new issue of Rock Hard Magazine out of Germany. Please check that out. I got a little gift from JetBlue. You don't get much from the airlines nowadays, so when I got this, I was stoked. I like little shit like this, but this is just a little pouch, comes with a headset in it. For some reason, they gave this to me, and then my wife said they didn't give it to me. They tried to charge me for it, so I got lucky. But then I offered to give this to my wife, and she said, nah. Anyway. What the fuck? Yeah, so I want to talk about, here's a really cool, I'm trying to go as fast as I can because an hour goes by fast. But this was a gift given to me on the 70,000 tons of metal cruise from Brave Words. So Brave Words and Bloody Knuckles is what I call it. Brave Words, thank you so much for the record cleaner. This thing is awesome, and I really do appreciate it because a lot of my records need cleaning. So there you go, old school. This reminds me of when I first got into record collecting. I don't even know if the kids are really that hip to this shit nowadays, but if you don't have a record cleaner, these are really great. They're old school as hell, and it's almost for me like therapy when you clean records. For some reason, for me, it's really peaceful, and I don't know, I think some of you guys can relate to that. If anybody out there that does still clean their records, you understand. It's like a ritual, and it's an amazing ritual, and it helps your records. You want to preserve your records, you know? So anyways, thanks again to Brave Words for this record cleaner. I should actually take it out. It's already kind of unboxed. I'm not one of those guys who acts like I'm just unboxing it for the first time. I've already checked it out because I'm a nerd, and we like to check our shit out. But anyways, this is the squirt bottle. And it comes with some liquid for cleaning the record. You squirt that on the record, and then you take this bad boy, which is a brand new awesome cleaner, Ooh, it even says Brave Words on there. How badass is that? See,
Ooh,
okay, I did
nice.
actually. This is the
This
first
is an
time.
unboxing.
This is the first time I've taken
Thank
it
you.
out of the box, but I did kind of prompt it so that way I wouldn't be struggling on here in front of you guys to open this little ass box. But anyways, it does say Brave Words on the. It's engraved into the wood.
Yeah.
Brave
I
Words.
don't know if they can see it, but that is nice.
All three cameras.
Okay. Yay. They do.
All
Got
right.
it.
So, anyways,
That was nice. Nice interview. A lot of history.
yeah, the cruise on the 70,000 tons was amazing, and for years, like 10 years, we were asked ago to do it, and we just didn't because we thought it was kind of weird to have bands playing on a ship. But I was wrong, and I will admit that. Whenever I think when you're wrong, you should admit it, and I was totally wrong. 70,000 tons is amazing. The staff, the crew, all the bands that we played with the exception of you know who, was amazing. Uh, it was a life changing experience, and I'm glad we got to do it. Hyrax was fortunate enough to be invited to do it, and I'm glad we ended up finally playing on 70,000 tons. The fans were great. We, obviously every band does two sets. We did a set in the smaller club show, which we loved because we love playing in clubs. And then we got to play on the upper deck, which was amazing. Even though the weather was crazy, like if you hear anything about the 70,000 tons cruise for this year, 2026, the weather was insane. It was like something out of a crazy movie, something that you couldn't even prepare for. But I'm very proud of my band. We played and had such a good time, and I believe everybody that was there had a good time with us. So, once again, thank you to 70,000 Tons of Metal for having Hyrax. It was an honor and a pleasure to be there, so thank you. I will take some questions, but I don't know, toys, records, what are we doing?
Oh yeah. So definitely wondering about Immortal coming out.
Immortal Legacy, yeah. So it should be out like any day or any week now. I would say in the next month at the latest. But the Immortal Legacy record is being reissued on vinyl, CD, and cassette. That is coming. We're just waiting for the boxes to arrive, but it's on its way. And it's been a long time in the coming. I believe like 11 years, something like that, maybe 12, 11 years at least since that record's been out.
2014. Yeah.
It's kind of like the ghost of our catalog. It was there and then it disappeared. It'll be back up streaming too for everybody that's asking about that. We like to make sure our music gets to everybody, so we're not against any of it. Like whatever way it takes for you to get our music, go for it. And so it will be back up on Spotify, iTunes, and all of that as well. So you'll be able to stream the record as well as buy physical copies. So thanks, and just keep checking the websites because the record will be up pretty soon.
Yeah. Oh, right. So there was just some people saying about the 70K was amazing. The concert was great. So much energy, and I loved it. So that was great feedback. And yeah, they got it right. There was a lot of energy.
Yeah. We had such a hell of a good time.
Yeah, like that. Off the hood.
It was amazing, and it's just something we'll never forget. And everybody that came up to us on the ship and talked to us, thank you, because that's really what matters to us the most is to get to hang out and meet the people that support our music. So yeah, man,
that was amazing.
I don't even know what else to say because it was such a good time. I mean, I've never seen that many headbangers in one place that happy. Like everybody on there was so cool to each other. That's something I think the world needs, man. What was going on that ship could be a model for the whole world. Heavy metal fans from all over the world, like 93 countries at least, something like that. Different styles of metal. Everybody was so cool. Like you couldn't. It was like we were just in our own world, which I believe that's kind of the way you should look at it. When you're on a cruise like that and you're out to sea, like to see the water makes you feel so small. Like it's humbling to see Mother Nature like we saw it, and all those people on a ship like frozen in time. It was like a Twilight Zone. It really was. It was like a Twilight Zone for heavy metal where you died and went to heaven. That's really what it was like. So I noticed on the way back when we were sailing back to Florida, it seemed like nobody wanted to come home. So it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
No.
Uh,
Yeah, after Cruise Blues. Switching a little bit, Kevin Schulten says, "How many records do you own?" And I was wondering that question
my
too.
wife even wonders that question. I stopped counting seriously, and my wife's gonna freak out. But after the first 1,000 records, I stopped counting just because I thought. I mean, it's good to know what you have, but I just thought, why am I even counting them at this point? But it's easily over 1,000, probably way further down the line than that. I think probably the reason I don't want to know is because it'll probably even freak me out. I think most record collectors, especially the ones that I know, after a while, it's like such a part of your life. It's like eating a sandwich. Like it's almost you have to have a record every week. But I actually police myself, like, so I don't buy as much as I used to. I used to buy a lot of records, and now I think it's more about quality. I think if you're buying records, it's fine. Like, buy whatever, and if you're really crazy, because it happens, we all get, it's like crack cocaine, even though that's not a good way to put it. But it's like drugs. It's like something where it's a positive drug, though. Let me put it to you that way. It's not a bad thing unless you're really stressing your money. But the thing is it's pretty positive. There are a lot of other insane vices than buying records. But when you're really into it, you will buy like you're obsessed. And I understand that obsession, but it's also for me. I had to get it under control because there's other things in life that matter easily more than records. But it's a fun hobby. Just don't let it consume you too much. But I just buy now more about quality than quantity. So if I find a record that I've been looking for decades or for years, that's pretty much what I go for. But I'm not buying like quantity because it's just ridiculous at a certain point. But I do understand buying like a maniac, and I support that also. But I think it's kind of cool once you start wanting better records, higher quality stuff, and records that you've been looking for. If there's a record that you haven't found and you've been looking for it, when you finally find that, it's like scratching a scratch that you couldn't itch. Like it's amazing. So look for the records, but also don't let it consume you too much.
Oh man, so many nice friends are here saying hi, and you'll love to say hello back, of course. And speaking of Johan, he says, "I love that kiss bus behind you." Is
Yeah, Johan, awesome. Thanks for saying that. Obviously, all the other shit aside, I'm a huge Kiss fan. Uh, it's one of those bands you love them and then sometimes you hate them, but I love them. It happens. But yeah, there's four of them. There's four different busts for each character. The interesting thing is because I'm such a nerd that when I look at the bust, they were made in China. But when I look at them, I noticed that the Ace Frehley bust is actually Tommy Thayer. You can tell by the facial characteristics, but it's still an awesome fact. Like out of all these busts, for some reason, the Ace Frehley is actually Tommy Thayer's structural face, but the makeup's obviously Ace Frehley. But that's kind of an
yeah,
awesome trivia question, and I'm a nerd, so I would notice
nice.
that. But yeah, the busts are amazing. All four of them are killer. They have plaques on the back of them stating what year they were made in and what country they were made in. I haven't seen them really around. I got lucky. I actually found them at the swap meet and worked a little deal and was able to buy all four of them for really cheap. But my favorite one out of all of them, a lot of people love Gene because of his stage persona. I mean, you can't beat the way Gene looks. But the Gene bust, and it's across the room because I couldn't fit them all in the corner. But the Gene bust is probably the best one. The Peter Criss one's pretty killer too. They're all cool, but I would say the Gene and Peter Criss ones are the best.
Nice.
Thanks for the question.
Armando Fimbra is our friend saying hello, and he wants to know, is your albums in alphabetical order?
Armando, you are the man, dude. Okay, no, they're not in alphabetical order. The problem is I'm a freak and I've got a pretty good memory. So they're in Katon order, which means I just know where they're at, which is bizarre because for some reason, when it comes to records, track listings, and certain song titles, all that kind of stuff, I don't know what it is, but I remember. Like, I'll remember what songs on side B, side A, that kind of weird shit. Liner notes, I'm really good at. And then putting my records away, I pretty much know where everything's at. But it's not alphabetical. I think that's a smart thing. Like, most really super smart record collectors have everything alphabetical. If you do, you're awesome. But for me, I'm too much of a mess. So I'm always pulling records out and listening to them and stuff. But I should have them alphabetical. I think the reason I don't is because I'm a rebel, and I just don't give a shit. But it is smart to have your records alphabetical, and I wouldn't be surprised that was a question from you. You're the man, dude. So yeah, but they're not alphabetical. I mean, I just know where shit's at. Like, down here is a lot of the thrash metal shit. So like, if I reach in, I pull out something like this. This would be in my thrash metal section. I mean, I have records all over the place, but there is a pretty heavy thrash metal section. Um, this was actually a record I got for free one time when they reopened the Tower Records on Sunset. Well, it's not there anymore, but they had a point where they actually reopened it for a movie called All Things Must Pass. I think I've talked about this before. But anyways, they had record bins full of records at this. It was like a kind of like a party. It was a promotional party for the movie All Things Must Pass, and they had it where they had the old Tower record bags. Any of you old schoolers know about the old Tower record bags that were awesome, and they had it to where you could just shop and buy records, but they didn't charge anything. That you just went around. It was all promotional, pulling records, and this was one of the records I pulled because I couldn't believe it was in there. And this is a double live Slayer record, Decade of Aggression live. So there you go. But there's a bunch of stuff just jammed in here. Um, I think, like most people, I love stuff like this. This is just like when you pull records out of a stack, it's pretty cool. Uh, One of my favorite Slayer photos of all time. This photo rules. So, but it's good. It's always fun, like record collecting. I don't know. I get kind of carried away. I'm like most fans, like couple of different, couple of different pressings. Ta-da! These are. This is the American original press, and this is a pressing from Korea. Korean pressing of Kill 'Em All. I just saw it and I had to have it. So, anyways, yeah, that's just some of the shit. What else is in here? I don't know. Go ahead.
No, I mean, there's more vinyl questions, or there's like this is interesting. Like, if CJ Brown was wondering about your afternoon routine for shows at past midnight, like how you have to stay up and everything, be pumped. So that's a good question.
That's a great question.
Especially on that cruise, it was like so weird out.
Yeah, the cruise.
Too.
Oh.
And then Fraser Ian wants to know your surprise golden vinyl that you have in your collection.
Ooh,
that
Fraser
you would never
Ian.
Sell.
Fraser Ian is a badass.
Yeah. Those are both fun.
Okay, my ritual when we tour or like playing on the ship was totally different. You couldn't really sleep because there was so much to do. On 70,000 tons, for the people that haven't been there, 70,000 tons of metal. There's 60 bands in 4 days of the ship cruising to the Bahamas and back. So in that time, you can only see so many bands because there's bands playing at the same time. Like when we played on the upper deck of the level of the ship, the upper deck, we were playing at the same time. They had a big metal jam with all these other famous musicians. So there's stuff overlapping. But I was fortunate because I made time, even though I normally try to rest, especially when we're playing shows, because, I want to give people a great show. I over the years, I've just gotten more serious and more serious about this music because I think that people work hard for their money and they pay to see these shows and they should get a fucking great show. But on the ship, I kind of took it a little further than I normally do because there are bands that I respect and I wanted to go see. So I went. Some of the bands I saw, which is awesome, that I get to see other bands besides performing. But I saw Satan; they were really good. I love that band, and Russ, the guitar player, is a really good friend. And every time I see him, it's awesome to see him and just talk. Just talk about other shit, even besides music. So Satan was really good. I also saw Violence, who were friends of ours, and we, for some reason, over the years, we played with them quite a bit. So now we're becoming almost like homeboys. They're buddies of ours. So, when you have that kind of a connection, uh, it brings you more together from playing shows together. Who else did I see? I saw Vader from, I believe, Poland. I'm pretty sure they're from Poland. Vader were really good. They played some weird times, but I made time to go see them. The first night they played, I couldn't go see them because it was like 4 in the morning or some shit like that. But I finally saw them. I think it was 2 in the morning after we played. I saw Firewind with Gus G, and that was interesting to see Gus G up there playing with no amps behind them. I think they were just, using all this new fancy stuff like Kempers or whatever, but I still prefer amplifiers. I know that that's passe because it's a lot of work. Cabinets and heads and all that stuff are hard to move around. I get it, especially when you have 60 bands. A band from Germany that I saw, Haggard, they were great. Totally different thing. Kind of like folk metal, but awesome. Great storytelling. 13-piece band, amazing. Their sound man is a friend of mine from Germany, so I saw him on the ship and he told me they were playing. And I went and saw Haggard. It had been the first time I'd never seen them before, and they were great. Um, who else did we see? Fuck. So many bands. Saw Anthrax. That was interesting. Who else did we see? God, there were so many bands that I'm forgetting because
Our buddy Strike Master's there.
Strike Master was there. They were.
Gamma
I didn't
Bomb.
get to catch Strike Master, but they were. I'm sure they did well, and they're great friends of ours from Mexico. So hails to Strike Master. We did see them on the ship. We were all running around. Gamma Bomb from Ireland. They were good. I actually caught their set. I mean, there's just so much. I can't remember it all because it was in 4 days of just mass craziness. But it was awesome, and I'm glad we did the cruise. It was you can't have any complaints when you're being taken care of so well. Like the promoters really have their shit together at 70,000 tons. So I have no complaints. If anything, they got gold stars across the boards.
Cheers from Faces of Metal in Tijuana. Do you have any vinyl from a metal band who sings in Spanish? Spain, Mexico, Argentina?
Yeah, that's an easy one because I love bands from Spain. I love bands from Mexico. I love bands from Argentina. Um, I have something right here. This is let me see real quick. Legendary band, all right? This is to my friends from Faces of Metal in Tijuana, Mexico. It's a band called Riff.
Nice.
Riff from Argentina. If you haven't heard Riff from Argentina, all you metalheads out there watching right now, I highly suggest them. To me, they're basically, and this is a high compliment, the AC/DC of Argentina. Just a great heavy metal band. Uh, Papo, rest in peace, the lead guitarist, vocalist, legend. Papo's the man. So if you haven't heard of Riff from Argentina, check them out. Old school as fuck, badass. I mean, the only other band like legendary that I can kind of throw in this category, well, there's a couple, but I'll go with Baron Rojo from Spain. And if you haven't heard Baron Rojo from Spain, check them out as well. But there's a bunch of Spanish-speaking records in here, and I love it. I love all languages. I love all people. I think Spanish is one of the most beautiful languages to hear heavy metal sung in, as well as French. My favorite all-time French heavy metal band would be Trust, and I have a ton of their records. I listen to all languages. I don't. Obviously, if you look at the T-shirt I'm wearing, it's a Russian heavy metal band called Aria. I listen to Russian heavy metal as well. I listen to everything. I don't let politics get involved in my music, even though I know it's not easy. I listen to bands for the music, and that's what it's all about for me. So there you go.
Yeah. All right. So that some people just asking about any Metallica or Exodus stories.
Yeah, there's a bunch. Heavy one. I don't know if I've told this one before. I don't know which one to start with, Exodus or Metallica, but I'll start with Exodus because I really think that Paul Bailoff was awesome and a very cool dude. Like, luckily, I got to know him and also we were both vocalists. So it's kind of cool when you bro down with another singer. And also, a lot of people don't know this, but he was in HIRAX for a short period of time. When I left HIRAX, Paul Bailoff was the singer for a little bit, and I love him. So even when he was took my place when I was gone, I thought it was awesome. Like that's something that people don't normally hear about singers, like being stoked on each other. But I thought Paul was fucking awesome. So if he was gonna replace me, to me that was a compliment. But when I went to his wake, and for you those of you who don't know what a wake is, it's when they celebrate a life past, when somebody passes, and they had a celebration for Paul, and I went up to San Francisco. Uh, Kind of sad, but I knew that I wanted to be there because I respected Paul massively. So went to the wake, saw a bunch of people that I hadn't seen in years, like a couple of decades probably. Saw Jeff from Possessed. This was the first time I saw Jeff in a wheelchair because I knew Jeff before all that. Um, Gary Holt was there. Toby Rage was there. He was still alive. And I'll never forget how even in death, Paul Bailoff brought us all together again. And even though it was sad, it was beautiful. I remember Ron Quintana from Metal Mania was there. We all, hugged each other and stuff because it's like this was like, besides Cliff Burton, this was one of the biggest losses yet. So Paul, just my experience of that at that wake, at that funeral, as some people might want to say, was I thought it was great that Paul brought us all back together, even in death. So yeah, and I've got a lot of good memories about Paul. Paul was always funny, always cool, always nice to me. You're gonna hear different stories about Paul Bailoff, but he was the real deal. Like I can attest to that. That Paul was an amazing frontman and a great performer and a great guy. So that's my take on Paul. And over the years, as I do more of these live streams, I'm sure I'll talk about other stories. But that's the one that I like to remember the most because he brought us all back together. Uh, and Metallica, obviously, there's tons of stories because when they were coming up in the very beginning, even before the demos and then the rehearsal tapes and the demos, I remember them playing No Life Till Leather for me when they first recorded it. They had it like a couple days afterwards. I was at their house in Norwalk. Some people call it Downey, Norwalk, whatever. But anyways, it was Norwalk, and they played it for me in the rehearsal room, and that was the first time I heard No Life Till Leather. So yeah, I go back pretty far with those guys, and I'm happy for them. Like some people, have all this stuff they got to say about them, but you know, obviously I don't listen to the newer stuff just because I'm an old school freak. But I still am very happy for them, and I wish them the best because they got a tough ass job, dude. To be doing what they're doing and playing, as many shows as they do year round, and having everybody have a bullseye on that band, like every move they make, people are watching it. They're scrutinizing everything that Metallica do. So I just wish them the best, and also I remember them a different way. And James, if he even sees this, I want him to know, man. The old days were awesome, and he was an awesome dude. Like people are seeing a different James because yeah, he's different now. He should be. He's been through a lot, but the early days of Metallica were fucking awesome. So, anyways, what else we got?
Well, I was just remembering that we were sitting with talking about tape trading a lot.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's been coming up a lot.
Also, the ice cream cones,
Yeah.
soft serve at the.
All right, so we'll talk tape trading. That was a big thing back in the '80s. That back to the Metallica thing. That's how I got to hear them first was by a cassette tape, and all the bands, even Exodus, we just heard them through live tapes. Actually, that was, and there were some demos. There were some rough ass demos. Um, there's also the Aquatic Park live tape. That was one of my all-time favorite live tapes of Exodus. Overkill from New York. I remember their first demo. There were just Megadeth's first demo was really cool. I think it was a 3-song demo if I'm remembering correctly. Death Angel's first demo. Dark Angel had the full album recorded, but it wasn't out yet. But I remember when that was on a small independent label when the first Dark Angel record came out. We Have Arrived, and that record's great. I can still listen to that record and be like, wow, what they were doing back then. Another band that I don't think gets enough credit though is Jag Panzer. From Colorado, they've moved since then. I'm sure they're all over the country or the world. But Jag Panzer, their first EP was amazing, and that band doesn't get enough credit. I actually got that was another band I got to see on the cruise. I saw Jag Panzer; they were great. I will give their singer massive credit that his voice is still in very good shape. So if you get a chance to check out Jag Panzer, they're still delivering, and they actually did the whole fucking EP, and I didn't get to see that. I saw them like in the club show, and then I guess they did a bigger stage and they played the whole EP in its entirety, and I was pissed. There's actually a clip that my wife sneaked taping me talking to uh, Tyrant, the vocalist, and it's me complaining to him that I didn't know they were going to play the EP because I asked him if they were going to do Harder Than Steel, and he goes, "Dude, we played it." So I was pissed, but I didn't get to catch that. So, but yeah, Jag Panzer, check them out if you haven't heard of Jag Panzer. I highly suggest them if you like heavy ass metal with great vocals, great vocalist, man. So.
Okay, cool. Yeah, they were just saying. Caleb said Jag Panzer was a pleasant surprise on the cruise, and
Yeah.
just your new album recording.
Yeah.
Do you know? Can you give us any information on?
Yeah, the new HIRAX record. Right now, there's 3 songs pretty much written. There's a 4th one that we're just getting ready to start working on. It's already been submitted by one of our guitar players, and it's really good. Jeremy's got some good shit. Alan's got some good shit. And we're just bringing it all together. Matthew's killing it on the drums, and we're excited. So it's nice when you have a band that's the lineup's excited to do this. We're going in at the end of this month, which is crazy. So next week we start rehearsals on the material to get it tightened up, pre-production, make sure the songs are arranged and ready to go, and then we go in at the end of the month. We basically set up these recording to force us to have to get our shit together. Like if you don't, like with us, it's one of those things where we have to set something up and then go for it. Because if we don't set it up, then we just lag, and that's not good. So we're going at the end of February to record 4 new songs. If we have more done than that, we're going to record them. The record's probably going to be recorded in two different studio times, which is a little tough because you got to still match them up when you put the full record together. But it's worth it for us to do because we also got a tour. Like we've got tour dates right here on the table where we're doing the U.S. and we're also doing Europe and we're doing Mexico. So we got a lot of stuff coming up. So we're trying to juggle touring, which helps take care of everything, and recording. And so we're going to do 4 new songs at the end of February. I can promise you this, it's some of the most heaviest shit. I mean, obviously, it's going to be fast. Don't get me wrong. There's always speed involved when it comes to HIRAX. But on the heavier side, there's a lot of heavy sections, and really happy with the way the music's coming along. It's been a pleasure working with my guys because they're so hungry and so focused and excited would be the word. Like, we're just really excited to get back into the recording studio, get the new record out, and let everybody hear it, and then let the music do the talking. I know that's an old saying, but it's the fucking truth. Sometimes with a lot of bands, there's more talk when you should just put your music out and then let the fans be the judge.
Right.
That's what I think.
And a lot of people writing in excited about that, and
I'm excited.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean,
can't wait.
It's still like right now I'm still crunching the lyrics. Like a lot of the lyrics are sitting around the house, and there's so much subject matter, especially right now with everything that's going on. And not just that, but I love history, so I'm doing a lot of studying and stuff. It's kind of funny we're talking about this, but just some of the shit I've been reading up on. I go to the library, believe it or not, with my wife. She's a teacher, so she's kind of renewed my faith in libraries. I don't know if even the kids know what the fuck I'm talking about, but go to a library, do some reading. It helps. I don't do enough, but also I'm a nerd, so this was at the library. I had to pick this up. All right, and then this was the Christmas edition, by the way. Actually, I think this is mine. This came out.
It came from Santa.
Yeah, we have a Christmas box, believe it or not. I don't know about all you guys, but you have to pull out the Christmas shit, and this has always been in my Christmas box. So that's where this came from. This didn't come from the library.
Yeah.
It came from my Christmas box. I grew up on Mad Magazine. I love this shit.
Yeah.
But this did come from the library. I'm a nerd. I love comics. I don't know if you even noticed, but if you look at a lot of the Hyrax album covers, I'm a huge comic book guy. So some of that stuff is,
right.
From years of that. This is really actually interesting. I don't know if you guys know this, but this is basically based on the Alcatraz. The island out there in San Francisco in the Bay. A lot of people don't know this. That's actually Indian tribal land. So when I was reading this book, I was reading up on it, and it's pretty interesting stuff. So if you don't know that, read up on it. Alcatraz, some controversial shit, but it's actually
Find it in the lyrics.
it's actually Indian tribal land, Alcatraz, and I never knew that.
Nice.
So, anyways, and back to comics. Yes, I had to get like a binder. Some people get the old school plastics with the cardboards, but this is one of the ones that I keep some of my comic books in. I love this shit. Obviously, I'm a Batman fan. There's a lot in here. But I love comic books. So, but that's a whole nother segment. So, yeah, but that's, I just working on the new album. Really stoked about it. I can't wait for people to hear it because it's something that it's the next chapter of Hyrax. Like Hyrax, if you go through the records, and I want you to know, I also appreciate everybody that's bought the whole catalog and they see the steps that the band is, over the years you go through these different scenarios and you change and you adapt, and that's kind of what's the next record's the next chapter of Hyrax, and we're on the right page though. Where we're moving is in a good direction. I think all the old school thrash metal fans that want their bands to stick to their guns and not over we're not going to overproduce the music. The music's still going to be raw and heavy, but it's going to be sounding awesome because we got a lot of good people working with us nowadays. So the record's going to sound powerful as fuck, and it's going to come from the heart like we always do. So tour dates, basically March through, April? March through April, Baltimore, Brooklyn, Cambridge, Montreal, Toronto, Detroit, Chicago, Covington, and Indianapolis. Check our websites. We're up on all the typical ones: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Bandcamp, all that stuff. And you'll be able to find the Hyrax tour dates. We'll also be in Europe in May. May we get to Europe. We'll be there from May 22nd to the 31st. We'll be in Belgium, Germany at Rock Hard Festival, which is going to be fantastic. We'll be in the Netherlands twice. We're doing 2 shows in the Netherlands. We'll be back in Hamburg, Germany at Logo on a Wednesday, May 27th. Then we'll be at Muscle Rock in Sweden on May 29th. Muscle Rock is going to be fucking fantastic. We've been wanting to play for years, and finally the stars aligned, and Hyrax is coming to Sweden. We're doing also the Abyss in Gothenburg in Sweden, and we will be playing the end of the tour in Europe. Will be in Norway, which is where my wife's family's from, and we're going to be Skoria, and we're going to be visiting Norway, and I'm looking so forward to that, to see my relatives and play some metal. So, and then after that, we'll be in Mexico, and we're also the Milwaukee Metal Fest. Milwaukee Metal Fest, June 5th. That should be killer. And Tijuana, Mexico, October 17th. And also back to May 16th, we'll be at San Luis Potosi, Mexico Metal Festival. That's going to be a big one. So keep an eye on the tour dates at all of our pages.
Other cities are chiming in. What about them?
Yeah, well, we're not done. Like, that's just some of the stuff that's being released. We're definitely going to get out to more cities. I believe we're doing Detroit this time around. So, like, even this will be the first time we played Detroit. We're always trying to get to the cities that we haven't played, and also go back to places that we haven't been to in a while. Like, we got to get back to South America. We haven't played Argentina in years, and that's one of the most amazing countries to play. The people are so passionate about the metal. Obviously, we'll do all the other territories in South America. Brazil, we haven't forgotten you too. Brazil has been so fucking supportive of Hyrax for decades, and we know you're there. We feel you. So Brazil, we haven't forgotten you. We'll be coming back to Brazil. I think it probably will be this year. So South America, we're listening. Back to the United States, I get it. There's certain territories we haven't been to. We got to get there, and we will. I don't want to let anybody down. I mean, we really do appreciate you guys' support. It's insane. Even just the orders, when you guys order our stuff and send us messages and tell us to keep going, it's amazing. So thank you guys for the support. And, you guys buying our t-shirts and wearing them loud and proud is fucking awesome. So thank you. Oh, AI, okay.
So speaking, one of those, the artist is great to make those flyers for them.
Yeah, okay. So AI it's a very controversial thing. I get it. I think also though you got to let artists do what they do. If an artist decides they want to create something, it's their art, and then they put also into AI. Who am I to judge? I get it. There's a lot of haters on the AI thing. Fine. Whatever. But if an artist sends me some art that has AI stuff in it and it's their art, then I gotta respect that. Even though we don't do that on our album covers and stuff like that, we always have real artists. We will always do that because for one, it's fucking awesome. And for two, why would you want to not use a human and have them create something so beautiful? Like, it's amazing. These artists deserve the respect and the credit. And the work that they put into these covers. I mean, we've been fortunate because we've worked with some of the greatest artists in the business. So I'm always going to be a huge fan of that. And you guys know I'm a comic book dude, so I love art. But like I said, I think it's up to the artist too. I don't think we should tell art people what to do. You couldn't. Art people are rebels, and I love that. I think it's really cool that artists have always march to their own drum beat, and I feel like we're the same. To me, artists and musicians are the same. We're creative people. We want to do something different. We want to break rules. And I also, one last thing I want to say about this AI thing. I think everybody needs to remember how they were about streaming music. I think we also need to remember how we were about when computers were first introduced to us, and things like MySpace, or what was that what it was? MySpace, the old site.
Okay. Yeah.
Remember that old site? Yeah. People don't even talk about it anymore. But all these things, Napster, these things were flashpoints, and I think that years from now, 10 years from now, who knows how everybody's going to feel about AI? But at this moment, I understand what's going on and how people feel about it. But I just think we have to also be able to evolve and deal with change. We have to deal with these things. But I respect people's opinions not to like it, and that's fine. But I just remember how many people hated Spotify and how many people are also on Spotify. So just remember that these things come up, and there's going to be more things down the road that come up technology-wise, and we're going to have to deal with them either way. So, anyways.
So yeah, coming up with the new album reminds me that you said that Assassins of War had been their 19th year.
Yeah, our EP, which was 19 years ago. So.
Did we say that one already?
No.
Oh, okay.
So I trip on these things because when we put the records out, we don't think 20 or 19 years down the road. But Assassins of War, an EP we did 19 years ago, had its birthday this week. So happy birthday! Cheers to Assassins of War. It does blow me away, though. But
it helps me think of memories. And also, it was Jim Durkin's birthday.
Oh, and also, if you got a glass, if you got a drink or anything, or get a drink, raise up your drink to Jim Durkin from Dark Angel. May he rest in peace. Today's his birthday?
The 7th, yeah. Yeah, today.
Today is Jim Durkin's birthday, so salute to Jim.
Happy birthday.
We miss you. We love you. Man, I got so many good memories with that guy. It's ridiculous. I have to admit, and this is just from the honest heart, when we did the Dark Angel tour last year, every night we played, I thought of him because, I wouldn't have been on that tour if it wasn't for him. And also Gene, my buddy, I love Gene, but every night I did think of Jim Durkin. So may he rest in peace. Happy birthday, Jim. We celebrate you today.
Happy birthday. That's right. Well, there is a question about your kind of punk and hardcore early sound
Yeah,
of Southern California scene in general versus the Bay Area
yeah.
scene, I
I
guess.
think that's an awesome question.
Jason Miles.
Jason Miles, to answer your question, yeah, I mean, obviously we've always been, right there on the line, like, and I kind of feel like we're carrying the torch still of crossover and metal and thrash and punk. We were surrounded by it, so coming up in Los Angeles, but also doing a lot of dates up in the Bay Area. We traveled to San Francisco quite a bit. We were one of those LA bands that loved going there because we were accepted there and the scene was blossoming. The first time we played the Bay Area, it was Hyrax, Exodus, Megadeth, and Testament. Testament wasn't even called Testament yet. That's one of the most historic shows ever, and we were lucky to be a part of it. But from being down in LA though, we were surrounded by Black Flag and the Circle Jerks, Blast from Santa Cruz. They came here a lot, so you had all these bands around you, and we had a great scene besides LA and the Anti Club, and then there was a club in Long Beach called Fender's Ballroom. Everybody played there, whether it was metal, punk, or hard rock. I mean, Guns N' Roses played there, Cheap Trick played there, Jane's Addiction played there, Hyrax played there, the Plasmatics, Wendy O. Williams. So we had all that around us, and even though we're a thrash metal band through and through, there's elements of punk and crossover and hardcore in our music, and we're proud of that. We never would not be proud of that. It's kind of cool to be a melting pot, and that's really where we came from. Los Angeles is a melting pot musically, culturally, and all that shit, and we're very proud of it. I mean, also, we had bands around us like Suicidal Tendencies and Excel and Beowulf, and even up and coming bands like Cryptic Slaughter. So to be a part of that, we're proud of it, and we still carry that torch. And the new record will have a bit of that on there as well as the stuff that we're known for. So thank you guys for following us for over 40 years. I mean, I would have never thought, when I was 21 or 22 that I'd still be doing this 40 years later. But now I'm 62 years old and still loving it, and love traveling and love recording records. So thank you guys.
So sweet. All right. This one is from Powell. Did I already miss the part where you discussed how you were able to get so high in the air during the Sentimental Metal cruise?
No, I mean, I've always been like into that, and I'll be real with you. Like, two of my favorite guys, performance wise, one named Pete Townsend from The Who. I love Pete Townsend a lot, and obviously early David Lee Roth. I saw Van Halen on the first U.S. tour in 1978, and I'll never forget David as a front man. But a lot of it's also Pete Townsend. Like, if you look at the jumps that I do, if you look at pictures of Pete Townsend, you'll probably get where I get that shit from. But it's the music. The music kind of takes me over. I know that I'm older now, but I don't feel that way. I mean, I have to admit, sometimes I get up and I'm a little sore. That's just being honest. And I am fucking 62 years old, but I don't see myself slowing down anytime soon, and I still love catching air. I think I'm also influenced by some of the skate guys from the 80s. I saw a lot of skate shit, and so you kind of pick up ideas from all kinds of stuff. And but yeah, I like jumping. I don't know what it is. I still catch pretty good air. I think I can do better actually. So if you notice, I'm doing these jump rope videos and stuff. I for some reason I get up at 5:40 in the morning with my wife, and we exercise and all that shit, and just trying to take better care of myself. I don't want to die yet. That was another thing. Like, as I got older, and a lot of the musicians that I came up with, some of them aren't here anymore. So it made me kind of reassess what I wanted my life to be like, because you don't have really that much control over everything. You can do your best, but I'm going to try to be around for a little while, and hopefully I can release some more records and tour and meet more of the fans. But yeah, I'm going to keep jumping, man. I don't know what it is. The music, I think the music makes me feel like I'm in my 20s still. I haven't really changed. I mean, my body's changed, but mentally I'm still fucking insane. So I'm going to keep doing it.
Nice. I know that was Impressive. The energy level. Just be careful.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, and I'll take more questions because we still got like 10 minutes left. But my wife, before we go on stage, normally says to me, don't kill yourself.
Don't break anything.
Don't break anything. Don't kill yourself. I did after the 70 Tons of Metal Festival. I was walking through the hallways because it was like, it's like a mall inside that shit. But anyways, I was walking and I was going through the casino where everybody does their gambling. And this lady stopped me and she goes, the whole time I watched your performance on the upper deck, all I could say to myself was, don't fall. So, I get it. It's one of those things where it's kind of like a car accident. You don't want to look, but you have to look. But I also feel like I got to take chances, or why am I still doing this? I mean, I don't go on stage to not push myself. I go on stage to push myself. So that's where I'm coming from. But I'll take, like I said, some more questions before we get out of here. I don't know if I talked about toys.
No, you didn't do that.
I love toys. Obviously, some of you guys are getting every angle in this corner of the house, but this is kind of my thing. It inspires me. I love toys. I love records. I love music. Anything music related I normally like. And I've been a collector since I was a kid. So I think things like this kind of keep you young. Not that you have to force it. It's just something kind of natural. And any of you collectors out there know how it is. Certain things make you happy. So I'm up for another question. You got some more?
Yeah, I mean, make yourself happy with toys and baking and cooking and just try to stay positive.
Sometimes I think the toys help me tune out all the noise because there is some noise going on out there, and I know I don't even have to mention it. You guys know what the fuck I'm talking about. But sometimes you gotta unplug from that crap and plug into things that make you happy, or maybe bring back old memories, or if you got some old magazines sitting around, like say Kerrang magazine or Thrasher magazine, maybe you need to dig those things out and go through them and read and remember what it used to be like. I mean, a lot of the stuff brings back memories. I think the thing with the toys is it reminds me of when I was young and the world was kind of innocent. Maybe I was innocent. That's probably what it was. But, even when I see things like Shogun Warriors or Rock'em Sock'em Robots, I saw a movie last night we were watching. It had Big Wheels in it. And I don't know if you guys remember Big Wheels, but those were fucking awesome. So I just think sometimes it's good to be taken back in a time zone.
Some sweet.
A time capsule.
I just saying that you make us happy, Katon. So that's nice.
Wow, what's cool about these live streams is I've said this before, but I gotta say it again. When we go out on the road and I get to meet you guys in person, which is always awesome, and I meet the coolest fucking people all around the world whenever I travel with HIRAX. A lot of people bring up these live streams, and it really does hit me in the heart, and I appreciate it because you guys also make my life better. So talking to you guys on these live streams is awesome. And if I bring that same thing to you, then that's a bitchin' connection that we're doing through this internet shit. It's amazing that we can have this connection. And maybe the world needs more of this shit where we just are honest with each other. And, pretty much everything on this live stream, and even coming from you guys, is all positive, and I don't know if that's been lost, but it hasn't been lost between us. So we can keep our positivity going back and forth. That's a beautiful thing. I appreciate all you guys. You guys all come from different backgrounds and different places, and you're awesome people. So thanks for accepting me in your world. And hopefully I'll see you guys again soon, either on the road or through these live streams. We're getting close to the end here. I think we got about 5 more minutes left. If you guys got some questions you want to throw them at me, and I can pull some more records. But there's a lot of great things coming. So the new HIRAX album, we'll be back out on tour coming soon. We got the recording studio end of this month, but right in March we take off again and we start hitting the U.S. We'll be back in Europe, which I'm looking forward to all of this, and so thank you guys. I mean, I can't say it enough. I say it a lot through these live streams, but it's just cool, and I'm very grateful. Oh, here's a Baltimore flyer for Baltimore.
Yeah, some people here from Baltimore.
Baltimore, Maryland. HIRAX will be there. This was designed by Reddick. Yeah, and Reddick. This guy does great art. This is probably one of my favorite flyers in a long time. Obviously, Thomas Pinero does great stuff as well. So thank you, Thomas. Tomas rules. And this is Reddick. He did a great job. And it's just, see, back to the whole art thing. Like we love real art. So whenever anybody designs anything, we try to get it out there to also support them as well as they're supporting us.
Yeah, we had saw Bill Hauser on the road, and yeah, some
Yeah.
other great. It's so great to run into everybody. Mike Lund's here, and he's saying Dee Schneider is retiring. I guess.
Yeah.
What do you feel about that?
That's hardcore.
Yeah, no, I don't want to really end on.
It's weird. There's a classic.
There you go.
It's weird because I'm a huge, especially the early Twisted Sister stuff I love. It's like they're one of those bands that were a game changer for me. There's a lot of unsung heroes, bands like Crocus, Twisted Sister, The Rods, bands like Y&T, Yesterday and Today. But back to Twisted Sister, it's sad because I'm sure a lot of people wanted to see that tour. I grew up on Twisted Sister, so they have a special place in my heart. I saw them do one of the greatest shows I've ever seen in my life at the Hollywood Palladium, where they were on fire. But if your health, that's what, even with me, and I'm not trying to make this about me, if this is about Dee Snider, but even with me, when people ask me how long I'm going to do this for, I usually say, as long as my body holds up, I'll be around. I think that Dee probably, learned some stuff where he knows going on the road probably isn't going to be good for him. So I wish him nothing but the best, and I hope that he heals as best as possible and lives a long life. So it is sad that Twisted Sister ain't going to be able to do it, but he's got to do what he's got to do, and I wish them the best. But they're a great band, and dude, the first album, Under the Blade, that fucking record is a masterpiece as far as I'm concerned. The first album for me is mandatory listening, and if you haven't heard that Twisted Sister album, Under the Blade, get it. So great question, Mike. Much love and respect to you out there in Minnesota. I love you, Mike. You're the best, man.
Did you buy the new Megadeth?
I didn't. I've heard some of the new Megadeth. I haven't heard the whole thing. It's been a great thing though, because no matter what anybody says, it's been genius the way this record's been done. Because I think it's #1 on the metal charts. So much respect to Dave, dude. I mean, Dave's a complicated man. If you guys haven't figured it out yet. But I got to give him credit, man. He's working the shit out of that new record. Everybody's talking about it. I'm sure I'll hear it more, especially after you guys asking me this question. I feel kind of lame not hearing the whole record, but I've heard certain tracks. I heard I think they did Ride the Lightning. I heard that. Pretty sure that's what they did. Mixed reviews on it, but obviously technically the playing, it's Dave. So, but the first track I heard I thought was pretty good. So, and I heard one of the tracks from the new Exodus record. That's pretty good too. So keep supporting metal, guys. That's what this is all about. I mean, that's how we continue to survive from all the underground people and even the people that might just be getting into it. That's how these bands survive. So keep supporting. I think we're almost done. It's pretty close to us checking out here. I want to send all my love.
Yeah.
All my love to everybody checking in or who will see this later. We're going to save these so they'll be up and you can watch them in their entirety.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much from Katon HIRAX. Check us out on all of our social networking websites. And we'll see you guys on the road very soon. And there's a new HIRAX album coming soon. Yeah! YouTube's gone,
All right.
Instagram's gone, and Facebook's gone.
Later.